What's going on, guys? It's Bandit FX, and today is June 24th, 2021. Today, I'm going to be doing a trade recap on my US30 sales from today um, during New York session or NYSE Open. So, a little bit of background info. This trade was a news-based trade as well as the GJ trade I took today. The news that we were um, basically hoping to push price a little bit further down was the US dollar news, GDP, and unemployment claims. And the rest of these yellow folders were red as well. So, looking at the chart from the technical perspective, we were at a pretty significant resistance right here, right? So we were at a resistance at 34,100, just say. We had multiple rejections at this level, and price was approaching that level again. So taking a look, we came up. We could not close above, even though we did actually break the high. We closed back inside of this range. So as soon as price started ranging here on the I broke it down to the 5 minute time frame. Um, we started forming this range right here in anticipation of the news release for GDP and unemployment. Now, originally, my analysis for US30 was sells below 33,770, and this was a pretty choppy range beforehand, and I was looking for buys above this level. However, because of that news release and I saw price starting to range, I knew that if there was going to be an impact from this news, it was going to cause US30 to break out of its range that it was currently in. So I saw that we had enough clean traffic to the downside and enough clean traffic to the upside for either scenario to play out. So what ended up happening is all the news was bad. Price started to drop. As soon as we broke past these lows, this is when I took my entry. Stop loss above the current candle with my take profit down here at the 5 minute um, at the 5 minute consolidation level or support level over here at 34,030. So let me just mark this for you guys to see. This was a take profit level. So let's pull this out. As soon as we start breaking past this low, or actually once this candle broke the low of the previous one after making its upward wick, this is when we actually took the trade. So we had our stop loss placed above the previous 30-minute candle, so you guys can see that. And this was basically the trade candle that took us to our take profit. It was a little bit over a 1-to-1 R. I can't really see it. 1.6. So obviously I secured at 1-to-1 as I always do, and then let the runners run. And I ended up closing the full remaining position as soon as we touched this level. And the reason for that being, and as I was explaining in the Discord, is that price tends to mirror itself. So if you were to draw a vertical line, basically, um, you know, say right here, this price action coming up to coming up to it is basically mirrored on this side. So I was anticipating at least a bounce. I wasn't anticipating the continuation to the upside, but I was anticipating at least a bounce and, it to come back, 50% back towards my entry. Now, because this was a news-based trade, as I said before, I was trailing my stops on the 5 minute time frame. This is also the time frame that I took the trade on. Even though my stop loss was in relation to the 30-minute time frame, I was following this trade on the 5 minute time frame, so I was trailing my stops on each 5 minute candle. Um, Obviously, we were in a little bit of profit, came into a little bit of drawdown in this area, and then this was basically just a retest. So I wasn't too concerned about these two bullish candles printing because they still were closing below the range. And my rule for this trade was if we close back in the range, I'm closing the full position, and that's that, because typically when you fake out to one side, price will continue in the other direction. As you can see here on a higher time frame, we faked out to the downside and then continued upwards. But as far as the 5 minute time frame goes, this was just a retest for the push down. So as soon as the news came in, and I believe it was okay 8:45. So this is 8:45 candle right before NYSE open. Um, price pushed all the way down to this level, and this is where we secured the full position. Um, Again, this was a lower risk trade, and the reason for it is because it was a news based trade. Anytime I trade anything based off of a news release to basically create that volume or that extra volatility to push price in a direction or break out of a range, I always use lower risk because of how volatile some of the candles can get and basically stop you out in either direction and then continue one way or the other. So, um, for that reason is why I always use lower risk when I'm trading around news events. So, yeah, guys, that was the trade from today for US30. It was a pretty profitable trade, 1.6R, I believe we said, but overall, pretty easy trade to take. You know, nice break, retest, and a continuation to the downside. Close the full position, and then price absolutely ripped to the upside. Now, um, unfortunately, this was out of my trading session, so I couldn't actually catch this move for buys above 34,100. But this was my analysis from the day before, and just so you guys can see, I'm gonna take it from the Discord right now, um, and pull up the chart so you guys can see. So I'm gonna copy the link right here. This was the screenshot from US30. This is what we were looking for. This is basically what the original analysis was. There was a choppy range. There's a no trade zone. Sells below um, this level, buys above this level, with our first take profit being up here. Obviously, looking back at that, we did break above that level, and we are approaching our first take profit right now. So, yeah, guys. Again, this is Bandit FX. Please leave a like. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm gonna leave my Discord link in the comments as well. I mean, in the description as well. And if you haven't already, please subscribe.